Hi, my people. How you doing? I am going to do the 21 question challenge of Get to Know a Witch. Hashtag Get to Know a Witch. I am so excited. I think it's going to be a blast. I was just making sure I wasn't interrupting anyone else. Okay. I'm going to light a incense. Wait for people to come. Get my candles going. Pull my door a little bit. I have just gotten in my witchy room and gotten started on my day. Come on. Didn't want to light. Little booger. I will tell you, she had so many questions that it took me a good long time last night to get all my answers lined up. There are a lot of questions in this challenge. And so it was a challenge in and of itself to get those all lined up. So it's called a 21 question challenge, but there is probably more like 60 or 70 questions total, because some of the questions have like 3 to 5 parts to them, some, or 3 to 10 parts to them. You know, it's like name 10 of these and name 10 of those. So it was difficult. Not only in the amount of questions there were, but in coming up with your answers is difficult, because you have to choose only a limited amount, or you have to choose some that you don't have all of those answers for. Hey, Whispering Cauldron, Carol, I have been wondering about you. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? Good to see you. So I'm doing the hashtag Get to Know a Witch challenge put out by Jenn the other day, and I was talking about what a challenge it was just to get my answers together. Last night I probably worked on this for about 3 hours, maybe a little longer. It was definitely a challenge just to get it all straightened out, but I'm ready to go. So I figured I'd wait and let a few people get in and then get started. It was definitely fun, I will say that. Yeah, you've missed a few, but I'm glad to see you. I was worrying. I haven't seen you anywhere, honestly, in any of my, you missed quite a few lives, because not just mine, I haven't seen you anywhere. So you're doing good? I'm doing well as well. I'm just, I've been off here and there for a few days, things going on, and, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. You do what you do what you can. I got some videos in yesterday and last night, and I was going to do the challenge last night. Honestly, it was my intention, but it took so long to get my answers together, I ran out of time, so I didn't. So I figured I'd get it done today. I've got a few people I know are coming, so I'm trying to wait for them. Yes, that's where I'm at. I'm just trying to balance my life between YouTube and real life. Sometimes that's difficult. Sometimes. I'm doing well. Hi, Mary. Good to meet you. Welcome. I don't think I've seen you on here before. I'm glad you're here. I am doing a get to know a witch 21 question challenge today. So it's going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm just waiting for a few people to get in. Oh, I know who you are. I know who you are. Recipes. Delicious food. I know who you are. Took me a minute. I have one text I need to answer. Okay. There's Lex. She made it. How you doing, Lex? I'm doing a 21 question get to know a witch challenge. How you doing, darling? Were you able to go get your herbs today or not yet? I'm very excited. There is my girl. Hi, Mandy. I'm gonna try to attempt to finish, but I don't know that I will in one live. But I'm doing Jen's 21 question challenge, get to know a witch. So I'm gonna go as far as I can. I don't have tons of time, and it's a big challenge. So I'm gonna do what I can today, and then maybe finish up tomorrow if I can't get it all done. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I've got a few people in here now, so we shall get going, I think. So her first question on here is 10 things you'd bring from civilization if you knew that you'd be on a deserted island for the rest of your life. So I said a machete, a hatchet, a huge box of waterproof matches, a case of quill pen tips. I'll show you what I mean by that. These metal tips that you can write with. Because you can get feathers out there, but I need the tips because I have to be able to write. A case of ink, because I'm not positive I could make ink in the wild. I need to put on my 6 eyes. I can't see. And a case of paper, because I have to be able to journal. I would not be able to live if I couldn't journal, so I would say those things. Okay, Lex, good deal. A case of papers. Let's see. My apothecary journal, which before leaving I would write everything that I needed to know out of all the books that I have. A crossbow with the arrows to go with it so that I could hunt. My dog Rosie, because I couldn't go without her. I'm assuming my buddy is included in this, and if he's not, then I would replace him for this. But if he is included in it, my buddy being my husband, if he is included in this, then I would take a large needle. If he's not included in this, then I would take my husband. So one of those two. A large needle or my husband, depending on if he's included. So those are the 10 things I would bring with me to from civilization. Hi, Thomas. Good to see you. I'm doing the 21 question challenge. So the 10 things that I would forage from the island for magical use would be bones, coconuts, feathers, barks, flowers, sand, salt, driftwood, ashes, and hives. I don't know exactly how you do that, but I'm sure I would learn. I know that it can be done, but I'd want the honey and I'd want the hives itself. I would probably figure out some way to do that. So those are the 10 things I would forage from the island for magic. 10 favorite. Now this is where it gets rough. This was the hardest part for me of everything in the challenge. These next few were the hardest for me. So 10 favorite YouTube live streamers, witchcraft or muggle, and why you love them. So, of course, my favorite is Jenn, the taxidermy witch, a fur. And I love her because she's so vast, she's so varied, and she has so much information. She is my second mother of witchcraft. My number one is Lady Grave Dancer. But she's not my live streamer favorite. So Jenn, the taxidermy witch, is definitely my favorite. My second favorite is Magical Mandy. Magical Mandy's live streams are absolutely amazing. I learn something every single time I watch her. She is informative, fun, happy every single time. She is loving and kind, and her sweetness, her voice, you can just feel her energy, and I just love watching her. I don't have 3s, 4s, 5s, 6. They don't come in any order, so I'm just going to name people. I don't even have them in any order. They're all over the place. So, Tangerine Layla, the Sleepy Oracle. I absolutely love her. Her wit, her energy, her absolute, just everything about her. I love her whimsy, her character, her everything about her. Her readings are on point. She's just amazing. Next would be readings by Lex. I think Lex is in here. I know Magical Mandy's in here, and I mentioned her. Readings by Lex is amazing. She's a great live streamer. She is very young. You're so welcome, Mandy. I love watching you. Lex is really young. She's, I think, 17, 18, maybe 19. She is absolutely amazing as a reader. She is on point every time. She read my husband, and that's almost impossible. She read my daughter, and she just absolutely floored me with the first thing out of her mouth. She's probably already left, and I hope not, because I want her to know how amazing she is. And she's so young, and she needs the confidence of a... She is absolutely someone who reads as though she's 60 years old and been through it all. Hi, Dinky. Welcome. Next would be My Family Garden. I don't know if you guys have ever watched him, but he does gardening. His videos alone are amazing, but his live streams are great. He answers questions for anybody. You can go in there and ask him anything about gardening, and I swear he's got the answer. He's just amazing. I love My Family Garden. And then Conjurer's Table, of course. I love Maddie and his live streams with Dave especially, and his live streams alone are amazing. He's just great. I love Conjurer's Table. Dangerous Eyes Tarot. I love her to death. I think she's great. She's amazing. She's one of those people who's just got it. Whatever it is, she's got it. Dirty Icon Tarot is another one I love to watch. She's very on point with her readings, and I really enjoy watching live streams with readings. I enjoy that a lot. So Dirty Icon Tarot is another one. Someone who is new to the scene but is really amazing to me, and I love watching her videos because she's so sweet. Hi, Nona. So good to see you. Welcome. She's kind of new to the scene, but I love watching her. I love her personality and her energy. Is Shanana. I just love seeing her, and I love it when Austin's on her live streams. And another one is Mama Squirrel, and that would be Willow Wind, the Thrifty Witch. I love to watch her as well. So those are my top 10 YouTube live streamers, witchcraft or muggle. My Family Garden is muggle. The rest were, well, I don't know if you call people who do tarot readings witchcraft or not, but those are my top 10 live streamers. Okay, gosh, that's hard because there's just so many you want to name. Anyway, top 10 favorite witchcraft or hoodoo channels and why you love them. The top number one is the Lady Grave Dancer, and I love her because she helped me get to a place that I was craving and didn't know how to get there. There were many parts of my craft that I wanted to explore and did not know how to, and she helped me move into those places. So I'm ever grateful to her, and I'm right along with Jen. I call her the mother of witchcraft. Another one is, of course, Jenn, the taxidermy witcher. I don't know. I might put her above Lady Gravedancer, honestly. She is continuing always to teach me, and she has helped me so much, so very much. I might actually put her in the #1 slot, in all honesty, as the mother of witchcraft, because I continue to learn from her daily. And although Lady Gravedancer helped me get to a new spot, Jenn helps me get there daily to a new spot. So I think I would probably put Jenn in that #1 spot. I really do. Another one I love to watch is Sunshine Morning Ray. Now, she no longer makes videos, but her energy and her personality and her laughter and her sweetness and her kindness and just everything about her is so uplifting that she brings me to this. Yes, Jenn is always first. You're right about that, Mandy. She is. Sunshine Morning Ray, if you haven't checked her out, you should. It's Sunshine, and Morning Ray is the next word, and it's R-A-E for Ray, Morning Ray. Her energy is great. She no longer makes videos. She has talked about coming back, but she's great. Another one I love is Raven Ways, W-A-Y-S. I love her to death. She's a little wicked, and I think that's what I love about her. I just love her. Yeah. Let's see, George Hares. I don't know if you've ever watched him. He's really interesting. He does everything from Wicca information to hoodoo, voodoo. He's just really interesting, and he covers the gambit. So I love him. George Hares, H-A-R-E-S. He's really interesting. Black Moon Coven. I don't know if you've ever seen Half-Ass Witch Tube, but she's really cute. I like her. Owl Vine Green. She's great. I like her a lot. And Black Witch Coven. I like all of them because they're just so informative. They have great energy. I don't really... You're so welcome, Lex. And I meant that. You need more confidence, love. You're good at what you do. And you need to stop reading and start feeling, because your intuition is much better than that book. Trust me. I'm telling you, trust me. Anyway, so those are my top 10 favorite witchcraft hoodoo channels and why I love them. Okay. Gosh, these are hard. These are the hardest ones, I'm telling you. Okay, 10 favorite non-witchy YouTube channels and why you love them. Backyard Gardener. Love them. And mainly because when I get to Texas, I'm going to get to really do some gardening, and I get to learn tips, and there's lots of information there, and I just really love the information, and I'm gathering information. And the next one would be Skins Fan All Day. Now, Skins Fan All Day I love for many reasons. Hey, Shadowmancer, it's good to see you. Okay, Carol, it was good to see you, honey. Love ya. Skins Fan All Day I love for many reasons. Number one is his personality is absolutely amazing. He's the sweetest guy. He's very humble, and he's very loyal. I met him through Jen's channel, and he is I believe it's a Redskins fan. I don't know what Skins is, but I know it's a sports thing. He does a lot of networking, and he is always showing up at my lives and always giving me support. And I show up at his lives and give him support. Hey, Heather. And he's just an all-around sweet, sweet, loving, gentle, kind guy. And he teases me, I tease him. We just have a great relationship, and he's a sweetheart, and I just love Skins Fan all day. Another one would be Red Man Paranormal. Love his channel, love him. He's a great down-to-earth guy. He does some really interesting stuff. The sound of his machine, Jenn likes. It kind of drones me out, but I love to watch his work because I always end up hearing the stuff, and sometimes I hear things he doesn't hear, and you just never know what you're going to come across, and I'm into all that stuff, so I just really enjoy it. There's a channel called Yellow Brick Cinema. It is a meditative music, relaxation music channel I listen to quite often, and I will be honest with you, there's only one, maybe one, two, or three right in there loops that I listen to. One of them is acoustic music with acoustic guitar with nature sounds in the background. That is absolutely my favorite. There's another one that's Celtic music, but they have some really easy listening stuff, and I listen to them very often. I mean very often, especially when I'm doing, like, working on my book or doing crafting, or even doing my practice. I'll have them playing in the background. So that's another favorite of mine. Another one is Kicking It with Karen Beyond Sauerkraut. I absolutely love her. I love her energy. I love her recipes. I love her tips. I love her tricks. I love her. Jack Shy Farms. I love Alex. He has got the sweetest personality, and he's so informative. And again, I'm getting into gardening as soon as we get to... I'm already into gardening, but I'm going to actually get to physically do some gardening when I get to Texas, which is not something I've been really able to do here in California. My greenhouse didn't work out so well in the area we're at. It was too hot in the summer. It was too wet in the spring, and I didn't actually get to use it. So I am so looking forward to Texas, and Jack Shy Farms is going to be very helpful there. And I love the goats. I love the goats. The next one is my family garden. I mentioned him about the streaming. My family garden has the greatest videos. He talks about mulch. He talks about worm farming. He talks about how to set up row. I mean, he talks about everything. He's just so informative. I absolutely love my family garden. Another one is going to shock you, but Central Coast Bass. I love fishing, first of all, and second of all, it's from the area that I grew up, Monterey Bay area. So he does a lot of fishing around the area that I grew up in. So I get to see the area I grew up in. I get to be with him when he's fishing. And my husband is a fisherman, and there were days that we'd go out and just sit all day and fish. And it's calming to me to be with him when he's just casting a line and, you know, reeling it in nice and slow and fishing. And every once in a while he catches a fish, and it's just so thrilling and exciting. And I know it seems weird, but that's one I love. Hi, Bucky. Welcome. Love ya. Just doing a 21 question challenge called Get to Know a Witch by, or hashtag Get to Know a Witch by Jenn, the taxidermy witcher. If you haven't checked out her channel, anyone here, please do. And next is, and my last one is gonna surprise you too, but it's called Money Saving Videos. And the reason that I watch it is only one thing, and it's called The Best Fireplace, and in parentheses, I mean in, what are those called? Colons? I don't know. It's 3 hours. It says 3 hours, and it is a real fireplace and someone moving the logs around. And I always have that on when I'm doing workings and have a fireplace going in the background. So, oh my Lord, that was difficult. So those are my top 10 favorite non-witchy YouTube channels and why I love them. Okay, How long have I been on? Oh, okay, we're doing okay. Okay, so next is number 6, which is describe your experience in the following schools. And this one I absolutely hated. I hated this question. I really did hate this question. So I'm going to get through it as quickly as possible. In elementary school, to the 5th grade, it was really great. I gained a lot of weight. I got very, very overweight, and I got very ill in the 5th grade. I had a disease hit me, an immunity disease, and I was really sick in the 5th grade, and I started going to Stanford every day and having tests done every day, and that lasted through the 7th grade. So I had very few friends. I was in a pretty deep depression, and it was horrible. I just had a very bad time from the 5th to the 7th grade. My grades were terrible. I was extremely overweight, and I got teased quite a bit when I was in school, which wasn't often. So, yeah, no. 5th to 7th grade was pretty bad. Hi, Sue. Welcome. It's good to see you, honey. And then 7th grade, junior high, was terrible. 7th grade was worse. I had absolutely no friends, and I was tortured, literally tortured. I had my hair set on fire. 7th grade was bad. 8th grade was not as bad. I had a couple of really close friends, but it was still bad. I had to get tough. I had to get tough in 8th grade. There were gangs in my school, and you got beat up. And my family was, if I came home beat up, my dad would be very angry at me. So I had no choice but to go back and fight. That's just how I was raised. If you got beat up, you got spanked when you got home, and you had to go back and fight. So it was not great. 8th grade was not great. High school wasn't so bad as 8th and 7th grade. I had a few friends in my first year of 9th grade. I did flunk 9th grade. Drama was absolutely great. Drama was like the greatest. It was a savior for me. I flunked the 9th grade because I had terrible grades. My second year of 9th grade, I started hanging out with not the greatest crowd. I went on to a sophomore year, and then I decided to quit school and started getting picked on again, and started going through the same things I did in junior high, and I decided to quit school and get my GED, which I did. And so then I moved on to college, which was so nice. College was so nice. I did go to college and get my CNA certification. I was then a CNA and a home health aide for many years, from the time that I was 16 until I think I was 38 the last time I worked as a CNA. But in between that time, I went to a holistic college and did a four-year college course there, and got a BA in spiritual healing. So college was terrific. College was great. Okay, we're done with that question. Are you out and proud with your practice? And if yes, how did you make that happen? Honestly, it was my husband. I was just getting really serious into magic and witchcraft, and he said, don't hide it. And so I didn't. I was very open with my family as to what I was exploring and why. And I even bought a book by Scott Cunningham, and I do not remember the title of the book, but it explained what Wicca was. And it was easier to use that book. It explained what Wicca was to a family member, so you gave the book to the family member and they read it, and it explained what it was and what it wasn't. That it was nature-based, that it was energy that you worked with, and I wish I remembered the name of that book, and if I can find it, I'll edit this video and put it in the information bar. I will find that book and put it in the information bar. But I used that book to explain it to my family, and I was very open from the get-go. I just didn't hide it. I did, however, hide it from my husband's family for years and years, and it was just honestly last year that I decided I was just going to be out in the open about it to everyone, and I just started posting it on Facebook, and I never got reaction from anybody. And those were the only people that I was not just out and loud to. And what made me decide I didn't want to hide that anymore was just that I just wanted to be me to everybody. I felt like I was not being true to myself. So I just wanted to be me to everybody. And I'm me to everybody out in public. I mean, I'm me. And, you know, I just felt like, I don't know if you can see my necklace, but it's the Triquerta. I'm just out and loud, and I don't hide it. So I'm as out as you get. When I'm in a store buying a bunch of jars and candles and they ask me what I do with it all, I openly say, well, I'm a witch. If you want the honest truth, then I gather herbs and I need a place to put them. So this is why I buy so many jars, because at the dollar store, they have asked me, trust me, you come in every other week and you're buying jars and you're buying candles. Well, this is why. So I'm very out. Okay. 8. In 1 or 2 sentences. Hey, Skins fan, I was just giving you a shout out, baby. I just gave you a big old shout out. I put you down as one of my top 10 favorite non-witchy YouTube channels. Is that what it was called? Favorite non-witchy YouTube channels and why you love them. I just gave you a shout out because you are a loyal, sweet, kind, just an all-around awesome guy, making you blush, right? I just love Skin Fan. If you don't know Skins Fan, you need to get to know him. You all do. He's a great guy. And I make him blush. Okay, number 8. In 1 or 2 sentences, explain our practice to someone to a muggle or a non-believer. And how I explain it is, I use my will to manipulate universal energy to bring my wishes into manifestation. I say universal energy because a lot of people don't believe in God, or a God, or God energy, or God source. But I use my will to work with God energy to bring my wishes to manifestation. In all honesty, that's the way I look at it. I work with God source. So that's my way of saying it. But at any rate, the next question is number 9. Math or art, which are you better at or enjoy more? Art, always art. I'm okay at math, but much more art. Working on your response video for Jenn, so hopefully you can get it done this week. Awesome, Aiden. I'll tell you, it took me hours to put my answers together. Hours. I'm hoping I can do it quickly. I'm only 33 minutes in and I'm at number 10, so I don't think I'm doing so bad. Okay, this next bit was difficult too, though. This was almost as difficult as doing the picking your YouTube stuff. There were 3 questions of picking YouTube stuff, which was difficult. So this one's hard too. So let's talk music. Are you a musician or singer? And if so, please give us details. Well, I am both. I play old school guitar, and when I say that, I mean I can chord, very basic chords for old style, very old style. When I say old, I mean old style country music. And I sing very old style country music. When I say old style, I'm talking about people you probably have never heard of. Marty Robbins, Merle Haggard, George Jones, Wynn Stewart, Lefty Frizzell, people you probably don't know. Not When I say old country, I'm not talking 70s. So, old country. Favorite instrument and why? Well, my favorite instrument is the guitar, and it's because I love the variety of music it can do. It took me forever, Aiden, to come up with that. I don't watch TV much. I love the variety of music a guitar can do. It can do anything from classical music to metal. And my husband plays guitar. You love Marty Robbins? Oh, bless your heart, Leanne. That's awesome. Marty Robbins is one of my very favorite. Very favorite. And New Country is terrible. It's absolutely horrible. It makes me sick. It breaks my heart is what it does. It just breaks my heart. But a guitar can do music like, like Stevie's, Stevie Ray Vaughan. It can do music like classical music. It can do music like Metallica. It is just so versatile. I love guitar. I just love guitar. Favorite bands or singers and why? Okay, this was hard for me. It was so hard for me. Because there's only 5 to choose from, and that was difficult. I love Lefty too. I love Lefty, which is probably why I love Merle. Okay, 5 favorite bands. So, and not in any order, okay, guys? Because I just, if I had to put them in order, it would be Merle Haggard and Marty Robbins first. Or Marty Robbins and then Merle Haggard. But then, not in any order. The Beatles, Pink Floyd, Ozzy. There's a toss-up between Ozzy and Metallica. I literally could not pick. So there's 6. Sorry. Least favorite bands, singers, and why? And it didn't say 5, but I'm assuming there's 5, and I couldn't come up with 5. I don't know why I couldn't come up with 5, because I know there's 5, but I couldn't come up with 5. So I named 3. So there's a country singer named Bill Anderson, who I am not fond of. There's a I named 4, sorry. A country singer named Lynn Anderson, no relation, who I'm not fond of. Tom Petty, I know I'm going to catch a lot of shade for that, but I am not a fan of Tom Petty. I love Loretta Lynn. And I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for this because there are tons and tons and tons. AC/DC. I do not enjoy AC/DC. Of course I gave you a shout out, Skins. You're my man. You're my #1 live watching person on a daily basis. I watch you every day. Because you're on every day. Okay. Least favorite musical genre and why. Okay, I had a hard time picking this because there are 2 I absolutely can't stand. So I can't name just one. I have to name them both because they're equal for me. They're literally equal, and I couldn't pick one. So it's techno / scream metal. I don't know what that's called, that scream metal, but where they're going, I can't stand that. And I can't stand techno because it is repetitive and it gets on my nerves. It grates on my nerves. And it's not that I don't like I don't know how to explain it. It's not that I don't like the sounds of it. It's just the repeating that gets on my nerves. You're right, Marge. Leanne, you're totally right. Yeah, I guess, Aiden, that's kind of how it is. I just avoid it. But techno is hard for me because it's repetitive. I like the sound of it. It's just repetitive, and I can't do that. And that scream metal, I can't handle that. That just, to me, that's absolutely not music. It's just absolute children playing, and I can't handle that. Uh, is there a song that the lyrics make, I'm sorry, this is the same question, but is there a song that the lyrics make 1,000% sense to you in your life? Please say some of the lines. Now, this one was another hard one for me because at times of my life that changes. And at this moment, it's a song, there's a song in my head that I can't stop listening to, and it's not that it means something to me in a way that I feel lost. It's that it means something to me in a way that the future is coming as a change. It's an unknown future because of the move. But it's called Crystal Ball by Styx. Or, yeah, by Styx. And I don't know if you've ever heard it, but the chorus is crystal ball. Oh my God, I can't say the words. I'm trying to, let me just write it down as I'm singing it so I can actually say it. Because I can't think of the words like that. There's so many things I need to know, crystal ball. There's so many things I gotta know, crystal ball. Won't you tell me please before I go? Crystal ball. Ball all. That's the chorus. But if you get a chance to look at it, you should, because it's really good. It's a good song. And at the moment in my life, at this very moment, that is the song that is resonating with me. However, the song that's always with me, always, is called Imagine by John Lennon. And it's because, I mean, imagine all the people living life in peace. What better lyrics could there be than the song Imagine? There couldn't be. There couldn't be any better lyrics than that. So, anyway, number 11. Explain what methods you use for connecting with others like us, meaning in the practice, in real life. And the answer to that is I don't. And the next question will answer why I don't. But I will say my ring and my necklace, they do work well at connecting me with other people. I've met people because of my ring who say, oh, I love your ring. And I say, oh, are you there? And they're like, yes. And I'm blessed be sister, and so on. Are you coven or solitary? I am solitary, not coven, but I have been in a group before. Not in a group where we do things as a coven, but in a group where we meet each other and network. However, I will probably never do that again. And the reason is because while in that group, they invited me to a get-together for summer solstice. And they began explaining how it's clothing optional, which I could handle clothing optional. But then they started talking about sex magic and drugs, and I will probably never join another group, and that is why I do not seek out people in real life that have anything to do with our practice. So there's that. Number 2 of 12, of question 12, part 2 of question 12 is, in your opinion, can a witch be solitary and in a coven? Yes, and my reason for that is that you pretty much are solitary outside of coven activities, correct? So yes, my answer would be yes. In your opinion, does a coven have to be 4 if it's a non-Wiccan group? Can it be 3, 5, or 13? Please explain. I always, in learning about witchcraft and in my studies and so on, thought a coven had to be 13. I never had heard of it being 4. However, because I think 3 is a magic number. I think a coven could be 3. I think it could be 6. I think it could be 9, so on and so forth. And that's just my thought, my opinion. And I guess I can leave it at that. So 13, question 13. What is your current occupation? I am currently retired. Please list all occupations you've ever had and how you like the jobs. That would be a very long list. I am 53 years old. Hey, my family garden, how you doing? I just was giving you shout outs, talking about your live streams and how awesome they are, and your channel and how much I learned from you. Hey, Jenna, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much. Yes, my family garden. This is my family garden, you guys, that I was talking about earlier, who gives such great tips about gardening and has such good information and shows you, doesn't just tell you, but literally hands-on shows you everything. You're 55, Linnea? Yeah, it would be a long list to go through every job I ever had, but I can give you an idea of what I've done. And hi, Danny. It's good to see you. Welcome. I can give you an idea of the things that I've done, and we'll do it that way. So I've been a clerk in a store. I've been an assistant manager in retail. I have worked in fast food. I have been a record keeper at the soil conservation, USDA soil conservation, I don't know what it's, department, sorry. I have been, I've worked at the Social Security office as a record keeper. I have, let's see, worked as a tour guide at a historical society. I also worked as a curator at the historical society. I have, what else? Okay, that was back when. Now, recently I have been a, what do you call it? I'm trying to look for the word. There's a word for it. I have been a supervisor, a parental supervisor, when one parent can't visit a child alone, when they have to have supervision. I've been a parent supervisor. I have also been a drug and alcohol, not counselor, but the person who ran a drug and alcohol group in a group home. And most recently, I have run my own business as a holistic health center, and been a life coach there, crystal healer, Reiki healer, spiritual counselor, many things. So that was my most recent occupation, and that is still my dream job, and someday I would like to open that and offer spells as well, and teach and do many other things. Yes, that's my dream job. Okay, number 14. Let's see, let's catch up on. Okay. 14. What does money mean to you? Explain in as much detail as possible. Money, to me, is a means to an end. You have to have it to survive. That's about the most it means to me. I would like to be comfortable and not have to worry, week to week how I'm going to be fed or keep a roof over my head or that type of thing. But outside of that, money is a means to an end. I wish it wasn't. I wish money wasn't so important. That's what money means to me. Let's talk media. Okay, here we go. 10 favorite TV shows and why. 10 favorite TV shows and why. This was hard for me because I'm not really a TV person. I watch things like Hulu, Netflix, and I'm not really a TV person, so this was difficult. There are some shows I watch on TV, and I named those. So, number 1 is Family Guy. It's always going to be my favorite. I love Family Guy. American Dad, Bob's Burgers. I love a show called Lucifer, which is no longer on the air, so I watch it on Hulu. The New Charmed. I do like The New Charmed. Blue Bloods is a show I watch very much. I love that show. Dateline, the murder mystery Dateline, the murder shows that they show, you know, this happened and then he did this and he did that and this is what happened in court. Snapped is another one I like. There was a show on they just recently canceled called Elementary. It was like a modern day Sherlock Holmes. Really, really enjoyed that show. Castle Rock, I enjoy Castle Rock. And that's my 10. One I'm looking forward to watching soon and getting started on is called The Order on Netflix. Okay, 10 favorite nonfiction books and why are, number 1, the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs with Scott Cunningham, and Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Crystal Gems and Metal Magic, Encyclopedia of Wicca in the Kitchen, Scott Cunningham, Encyclopedia of Magical Ingredients by Lexa Rosian, Herbal Magic, A Witch's Guide to Herbal Folklore and Enchantments by Jarena Dunwich, Women's Dictionary of Symbols and Sacred Objects by Barbara G. Walker, Eastern Mind, Western Body, Anodia Judith, A Grimoire for Modern Cunning Folk, A Practical Guide to Witchcraft for On the Crooked Path by Peter Padden, 20,000 Dreams, Discover a Real Meaning of Your Dream Life, Mary Summer Rain, and last but not least, my journal. My journal is my very favorite book in the world. And next is 10 favorite movies and why. This one was fun. This one was fun. Let me see. Where are we at? Are you guys raiding me? Hi, Bossy. Welcome. You guys are awesome. You guys are absolutely awesome. Welcome, welcome. Love ya. 10 movies. The Gauntlet. The Gauntlet with Clint Eastwood. Absolutely love that movie. And the reason I loved it is, who doesn't love a movie where they beat the system? It was so full of, you know, action and what's going to happen next and suspense. And he did this entire thing in this bus and really fixed it up and boom, on the courthouse steps. I mean, just a great movie. Great movie. Full of suspense. Great movie. Number 2 is the Death Wish series. I only used one, though. I only used one of mine for the Death Wish series, but great movie. Who doesn't love Charles Bronson? He's just magnificent. I loved him as a kid. I loved him as a teenager. He's just a great actor. Number 3 would be Casino. Great movie. Loved it. Everything about it. Everything about it. Loved Casino. Number 4 would have to be The Godfather. It's an all-time classic. Who doesn't love The Godfather? Number 5 would be Scarface. Let me show you my little friend. Number 6, Point Break. Classic movie. Has to be held high. I'm glad you guys are seeing each other. I love you, Skins. You're a great guy. I know what you did. I know what you did there. Scarface. Yes, Point Break. Face Off. Number 7. Face Off was a great movie. And you know why it was so great? Because Travolta and Cage had the ability to literally take on each other's characteristics, and that absolutely amazed me. It amazed me how well they pulled that off. Great movie, Face Off. Number 8, Reservoir Dogs. If you have not seen that movie, you've got to see it. Absolutely. I mean, if you've got a weak stomach, you might not want to watch it, but it's a great movie. Really good movie, Reservoir Dogs. Number 9, Tombstone. Classic movie. Own it. Watched it so many times, I think we've almost worn the DVD out. Probably going to have to get it again. Great movie, all-time classic. And number 10, I'm showing my horror in me, my horror. Don't get that wrong, you guys. House on Haunted Hill. Scared the bejesus out of me. It was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. And it takes a lot to creep me out. I like horror movies, but they take a lot to creep me out. So that is my Let's Talk Media 10 favorites. Okay, number 16. How long have we been on? An hour. We're okay. What are your thoughts on, oh, this is a quick one. What are your thoughts on Doreen Virtue? I don't know a lot about her other than that she is religious and New Age, and I really don't know anything else about her, and that's the honest truth, and I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or not. And what are your thoughts on Aleister Crowley? The only thing I know about him is that he's an occultist, and someone died in a ritual that he did, and he's considered the worst man in the world or something to that effect, that he climbed mountains and he was rich and he died poor. That's all I really know about Aleister Crowley. And again, I don't know if I should be ashamed of that or not, but I don't know anything about him. 17, what is your spirit animal? A bear. Have you ever owned your spirit animal? No. A bear. Bear. Do you currently have pets? Yes, I certainly do. If so, please list your current pets. I have Rosie, who is my soulmate, and I have 2 cats. One is Juju. He is a big black Norwegian forest cat. And I have Smokey, who is a small Himalayan. Beautiful blue eyes. What was your first pet? His name was Snoopy, and he was I don't know what he was. I was pretty young, but his name was Snoopy. He was a black and white dog. Have you ever owned an exotic animal, and if so, please tell us about it. Okay. I don't know what it means by exotic. So if it's like a tiger or a lion, no, I've never owned one. But I did have 2 animals that were, one was from another country and one was unusual. So the one from another country was a cockatoo, not a cockatiel. He was named Stewie, and he was an amazing, amazing bird. When I got him, he wouldn't let anyone touch him or get on you, and by the time that I had to give him away, he no longer was afraid of anything. He'd climb right up on me, let me love him and touch him. He'd rub all over me, he'd kiss me. He was a great bird. The other one that was unusual was a little baby squirrel that I rescued from the ground. He had come out of his nest and he didn't know what to do. So he was covered in little mites, and I saved him. So that was my unusual pet. So those are my exotic pets. Let's see. It was actually the remake from 2018, the newer one. I did see the original when I was younger, but I don't remember it. What is your definition of a magical familiar? I think it's an animal, in my opinion, that wants to be around when you're doing magic, that lends you energy when you're doing magic, and that is so close to you. It's like a soulmate that is just part of your being. And have you ever had one? Please tell the story of how you met or how you found each other. I do have one. Her name is Rosie. She is my dog, and we found each other. My husband actually told me there was a golden retriever online, and I am a golden retriever fanatic. He said that she was online and he didn't know if she cost money or not. I got in contact with the people, and they told me they wouldn't charge me except for the gas to meet me halfway, which broke my heart because it meant that she didn't mean that much to them. And they charged me $40 to meet them halfway. I handed them the $40, and they handed me the dog like she was absolutely nothing to them, and told me that she had been a breed dog for them, and that she was now 8 years old and fixed and could no longer breed. and gave me the dog. I put her in my car. They didn't even like really say goodbye to her. You know, they said goodbye, Rosie. Got in their car and left. They didn't have toys for her. They did have a bed, but it was really in bad shape. No, they didn't have a bed. They had a blanket. They had a blanket. They had no toys for her. They had a very old nasty leash. Her collar was in disarray. She had a tag but no papers, which was okay. I didn't need papers, but it would have been nice to have a vet list of, you know, what she had, you know, her most recent shots and what she had been through, and, you know, just a medical record of some sort. But they had nothing, and they just kind of handed her over like she was unimportant. Well, the moment that I saw her and they got her out of the car, she literally just ran up to me. She just, I mean, literally ran up to me. It was pouring rain, and she ran up to me. She sat right in front of me, and her tail was just going 100 miles per hour. It was like she knew she was mine, and I knew she was mine. And it pained me that she had to be in the back of the truck, because, not truck, but, what do you call it? Suburban. She had to be in the back of the Suburban, because I wanted her with me. And had there not been a seatbelt law and I had not been worried about being in a wreck in the rain, I would have just ridden back there with her. But yeah, it was pretty messed up even. But we have been this tight since, and we are best friends. And I've had her almost, I think, close to 2 years now. No, it's only been about a year. It's only been about a year. But she is literally my very soul. And yep, so that's my familiar. Okay, number 20. What style? She's awesome. Rosie is awesome. So what style is your personal dress style? Do you like blend in? Do you like to blend in or follow trends, or be wild and adventurous, try to think outside the box and start trends? How has it changed over the years? Okay. Up to 5, how mom dressed me. Homemade clothes. Totally homemade clothes. My mother made my clothes forever. Age 8, around the time you started dressing yourself and picking your own clothes, homemade clothes. Blouses, slacks, and dresses. Mostly dresses. Age 12, start of puberty, homemade clothes. Blouses, slacks, and dresses. Mostly dresses. Once in a while, she would get me a pair of jeans and some t-shirts. But honestly, I wore mostly dresses that she made me. Age 15, when we start to feel like adults, this was when I was in high school. In my first year of high school, she still made all my clothes. And I threw fits because I was already picked on enough in junior high, and it was just bad. And I told her, you've got to let me start wearing normal clothes. And well, I was really big in high school. I was really heavy most of my life, very heavy. And I weighed well over 200 pounds in high school. So finding clothes for me was difficult, which is why my mother made my clothes at that point. She made my clothes earlier than that because my mother just was a seamstress and she made my clothes. But she would make jeans and they didn't look like jeans, if you know what I mean. So by the time that I was 15, I insisted that I have jeans and t-shirts. And I wore jeans and t-shirts because those are the things I never got to wear. So I was in jeans and t-shirts probably, well, forever. I mean, I wore jeans and t-shirts. That's what I wore. So it says 18 years old, I wore jeans and t-shirts and sometimes dresses, but mostly jeans and t-shirts, honestly, because it was something I never was able to wear. So age 21, my standard dress was jeans and t-shirts, but bars, pubs, and club scenes, I had dresses, and, you know, you wear dressy clothes and slacks and that kind of thing. And then I had dress clothes for work. I usually ended up working in offices or, like I said, as a tour guide or something like that. So I had dressy clothes for work. Work clothes, you know, blazers and decent blouses and slacks and that kind of thing. At age 25, I wore a lot of maternity clothes because I was having kids. I wore khakis, jean shorts, blouses, t-shirts, jeans. Age 30, I was too big to care what I wore. I wore whatever I could fit into, honestly. A lot of stretchies and big blouses. By the time that I was in my 50s, I was thin. Not thin, but you know, like I am now, thinner. Thin enough to start wearing clothes I enjoyed. And my style is, you know, sweaters and stretchies and kind of boho-ish. I just don't have the money to be boho-ish as I'd like to be. But kind of boho-ish style. That's what I would be if I had all the money to spend in the world. So that would be it. Boho-ish. So when you were a child, did you believe in magic? Yes, I did. At what age did you stop? I don't think I ever did. And when did you restart? Would you teach your children magical ways if you had one? Or if you have one? And yes, I did teach my children, but in all honesty, if I had it to do over again, I would have taught them differently and I would have taught them more. Hey, Nadia, how are you? Thank you for coming by. Bless your heart. So good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. I would have taught them differently and I would have taught them more. I didn't get to teach them in the way that I should have. Hi, Irish. It's so good to see you, doll. Welcome. I didn't get to teach them in the way that I would like to have taught them. Now that I'm older, I taught them in the way that I thought I should have taught them, very quietly and kept down and low so that they didn't get in trouble. I worked at a school, so I had to keep it on the DL as far as that type of being out went. So I didn't want my kids to know any more than they had to at that point. And I wish now that I would have done more. Jen, I just finished. Bless your heart. I'm so excited you put this out there. I just finished it. I did it. I did it. I did it. You betcha. There's a few in here I'd like to do that with, to be honest. Where'd he go? There he is. There we go. I did it, and I did it in actually like an hour. So I'm so proud of me. I thought it was going to take me forever. I got to tell you, Jen, some of these questions were so hard. So hard. I hope everyone got to know me a little better. That's kind of cool. How exciting. That was fun. I gotta say it was fun. But so hard. Some of them were terribly hard. And some of them were a little personal, you know what I mean? In a good way. Personal in a good way. I did them all. I did them all. Even the hard ones. Even the ones that were hard to answer. I went ahead and did them. No, I wanted you to have a wrench, Aiden, because, well, I needed you to. Sometimes things happen. My favorite question, I think, was, oh my gosh, that's hard. The being out question was a good one. And the movie question I liked. And I liked the familiar question a lot. Because I got to brag. You do feel you know me better, Heather? That's awesome. No, Aiden, I wanted you to be a wrench because sometimes you're here and none of my other wrenches are here, so It's important to have a wrench around. I think it is. Jen, I found a video. I'm going to link to you as soon as I find it again. I'm going to look for it on how to do a mod on a phone. Ouch. For you. For you. Just so that you could add like Magical Mandy or somebody if you needed to. Just in case. Oh my gosh, that was fun. That was so fun, and I'm so happy I did it in such a quick amount of time. I really thought it was going to take me a couple of times. I mean, a couple of lives to be able to do it, but it went fairly fast. Of course, I wrote everything out ahead of time so that I could just kind of go through it. I will tell you though, oh my gosh, Jen, those questions about your favorite YouTube streams and favorite channels and all that stuff, that was rough. That was a rough go. It took me like probably 3.5 hours or so to get through answering those, because that's hard to choose. That was hard to choose. Too much responsibility. Well, on a little channel it won't be bad for you. There you go. I'm a little channel. Aww. Yeah, I had to, because I would have gotten lost. If I'd have had to try to remember them, I would have been crazy. I had to write them out. I will say I got some ideas from you though, because the Townsends, I went and looked at some of their stuff and I saved it. I know what you mean. That's why it was so hard for me, because I was like, there are people I have to leave out, and it just sucks. That was hard. Yeah, that was a hard one. I don't do small very well either. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm probably going to go get off here. I got a few things I got to get done today. But I thank you so much for joining me. That was fun, Jen. Thank you so much for writing it up and challenging us all. That was a great fun thing to do. And I hope it helps everybody know each other better. And I can't wait to see who goes next. Everything's bigger in Texas. That's awesome. We'll be in Texas. Everything's big. That's awesome. All right, you guys. I love you all. You're all divine and sacred beings of light and love. Please have a good afternoon. And know that I'm thinking of you. Oh, you're welcome, Aiden. Thank you so much for coming by. Thank you, Jen, for coming in. It was good to see you. I hope your trip is well. I hope you're warmer. Talk to you all soon. Bye. Love you.